are watching Coffee Talk, and this is the 4th of July edition, number 464 live stream, 7 p.m. or thereabouts. And happy 4th of July to you all. Tonight, no specific topic. I'm going to talk a little bit about history, the 4th of July. I do have a degree in history, and I did specialize in the United States and the colonies and wars and various things. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about that. And of course, my dog is out there barking. I just offered them to go outside and they didn't want to. But you know how that is. KP Heathen, my friend. And Hillbilly Josh Loftus. How you doing, guys? Thank you for the like. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79. How are you doing, young man? Hey, I hear you. My father was an oil field worker, what they called a roughneck back in the day. I don't know if they still call them roughnecks. His uncle, his mother's brother, his uncle, was what was called a tool pusher. He was a crew leader. And my father, he brought my father in onto his crew. And I understand you're tired. I am tired too. I just made a cup of coffee. Oh God, I slurped. Excuse me. And I am drinking French vanilla creamer. Well, actually, take that back, Carnation. My wife does the French vanilla. With my blood sugar, I'm not supposed to do anything sweet. Yoda, my friend. Blessed life. And it is a blessing to have you here. Roughnecking, yep. I was watching that Landman, and I wasn't aware that if you're new to the cruise, they call you a worm. And I guess they F with you because you're, excuse my French, but they F with you because you're a rookie. So I heard about that. 3 watching and 5 likes. Well, so something that I was told to mention, Dave, aka Yoda's Blessed Life, formerly Guru and Wahoo the Eternal, back in the days, he's put up a post. He says he's going to leave it up until he hits 15,000 subscribers. He said it'll probably get about 150 comments, and anybody who's looking to pick up friends need to go on to that, leave a comment, and then they can find new friends. He expects about 150 comments from people and be a way to pick up some extra friends. So for those of you who are here now, he wanted me to mention that. Also, I am working on boxes for friends. And just to tell you some of the things I'm putting in. Now these are friends that I've sent stuff to in the past. So, like, if you're one of my subscriber winners and you have previously gotten the goodie box from me, a full goodie box from me. Hello, Melinda. And you wind up getting a follow-up box from me, 5 in the house, 7 likes. Then some of the things that you can expect to get from me, like Dave, when I send you your box this coming week, probably, same thing, Uncle Al, there will be a little goodie box. This is just basically to top off. I know I've probably sent you first aid kits in the past. I know, Dave, I sent you one recently, a nice one. Well, this is basically just to top it off and replenish stuff that you probably used. You don't have to keep you can just pull all this stuff out and it'll replenish what you have. Again, 14 stick coffees, carnation creamers, and very nice artificial sweetener that won't cause cancer. Grape, Crystal Light with caffeine, 10-pack. Crystal Light lemonade. And you know, in these 10-pack, and these only have 10 calories per stick. So if you're trying to watch your weight, and then there will be some rations in them, some military rations. Yes, the nice green first aid kit I sent. Well, you know, Dave, that one that that one that was 2 hours long, I'm thinking that was the one that you asked me to take over for you and do. I did it in the morning. You said, could you do one in the morning? Blah, 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 blah. I did it, and I did it was like 2 hours. And I think that's the longest one I ever did was 2 hours. And I did that one basically covering for you that time slot that you wanted me to cover for you. Idaho Garden Girl, my friend. How are you doing, young lady? Happy 4th of July. I have been doing yard work like you would not believe. I've been mowing ditches. I have been weed eating. I have been mowing. And I really haven't touched the backyard. My wife's not in a position to right now. Her health, and then what little energy she has, she's trying to basically make sure she goes to her karate, where she basically teaches the lower belts and everything. She's trying to, hopefully she wants to test for her black belt in the coming week or so. So yeah, so I'm basically, hello Barbara, I'm basically trying to cook and lawn work and trying to take care of things. It's liable to rain tomorrow. No, I'm not done. The other thing is, I've been using a self-propelled in my bag. I really don't like to do the riding mower because it doesn't look near as good. And I've been using the self-propelled in my bag. Today it was 4 bags. That's a lot. And I'm an old guy, so I have to take breaks, and I'm sweating, and I'm using mosquito netting and wearing gloves and a long sleeve shirt and long pants, so mosquitoes can't get to me. And I am drinking. Taste your choice. Carnation Original Creamer. I'm trying to take care of my business. Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind on commenting. I'm behind on viewing. I haven't been sleeping the best in the world. I wake up 3 or 4 times a night to go to the restroom. You know, I guess it's just part of aging. But you know, as it was pointed out, with modern medicine, you know, antibiotics, blood pressure medications, sugar medications, all that sort of stuff, people are living 3 decades on average longer than they previously would have been 100 years ago. So I figure I've got another 20 or so years in me, or maybe more, seeing how some of my relatives lived into their 90s. 63 is not as old as it could be, you know. I mean, I thank God every day when I wake up, you know. It's just the way things are. Yeah, you get caught up and you get behind. I understand. Like, I haven't looked at my backup channel to see, you know, I was answering comments on my 100 subscriber giveaway. I hadn't looked recently to see anymore. I did notice that it was at 105 subscribers. So, you know, I picked up a few subscribers. Yeah. You know, the other thing is, like, when you're out, you know, working and you're sweating and you're drinking bottles of water, you're not going to the bathroom. I wasn't peeing. I was sweating it off, you know. I drank probably a 6 pack of bottled water, and I wasn't going to the restroom. I was sweating it out. I mean, trust me, it was just, I was sweating. It was just, I'd have to wipe my glasses because that's how wet they were. Just the sweat rolling off. Hey, much love to you too. Thank you for being here, and happy 4th of July, young man. And thank you for what you do. He's helping with oil production. God bless you. Hey, make sure you're saving some of your money. You better have a good savings account going. Anyway, looking at comments coming in. Now, when you know, if somebody hits the heart, you get a congratulations. So I'm looking at people that I did leave comments on, and I'm getting hearts. So it's like, well, they're, you know, hearting my comments from earlier. Take care, Josh. And again, I'm drinking coffee because this is Coffee Talk. When I get through, I'm gonna have to go out and fix supper. Give the wife some options. I can do salmon. I can bake salmon. Let's heat the oven to 400 degrees in 25 minutes. I can do burgers. Again, heat the oven to 400 degrees, and that's about 20 minutes. JC, how's it going? Thank you for coming by. Mr. Whistle. Thank y'all for coming in. And again, I should mention Yoda, my friend Dave, he's moving on 15K. He's working on 15Ks at 13 something, moving on 14. He said he did a post this evening, Yoda's Blessed Life. He says he anticipates he's going to leave it up until he gets to 15K. And if you go over to it, please leave a like and a comment. But you can probably pick up, he says there will probably be about 150 people that'll go in there and leave comments, and it'll be a good way for you to meet people. So you can probably grow your channel that way. He wanted me to mention that. And thank you so much, Dave. Enrique Trevino, my friend. Well, did you decide to make a video An unboxing. You know, you don't have to show your face on an unboxing. You can basically just show your hands and show what's there. Yes, happy Independence Day. I'm glad you're doing really darn good. Please call him Dave. I don't know where that Yoda crap came from. His name, my name is David, and his name is David, and I call him Dave. We're both Davids. We're both friends. And he is a blessing to me. And I appreciate him. And again, there will be some people that will be getting boosters from me. I get these at Walmart for like $10. This has Tylenol, Neosporin, hand cleaning wipes, Band-Aid triple layer nonstick pads, Band-Aids, tape, new gauze, several different sizes of Band-Aids. You'll be getting this in a box. I will let you know who's. It's about $36 an ounce right now. Oh, please. Now, Enrique, yours was $20. Yours was a lot bigger than this one. This is like a booster for people who have gotten them from you in the past. So tell me, how did you like your, Enrique, give me a few words. Tell me how you liked your goodie box. Well, one of my kids just sent me a text. Few words, he just said thank you. It just said thank you. I said, can you use a few adjectives? Descriptive words, adjectives, parts of speech. I used to teach English to the special ed types. That was one of the subjects I taught at one time, way back when. Language arts. It was very nice, thank you. I'd never seen the Chipotle Tabasco sauce. It's very tasty. It's not hot, but it's very tasty. You'll like it. The green pepper sauce is very tasty too. It's not hot. The original was hotter. Like on the scale of 1 to 5, the original's a 3. I think the Chipotle and the green pepper sauce are 2s. No broken participles. Okay. Well, I've got a video that's all edited. It's loaded up on private. I just have to do the description and I have to do a few shout outs, in it. And then I'll drop it. It's about 6 minutes long. It's a real nice one. You'll like that. It's that set of knives and flashlight that I'd opened up. And it's it's about 6 minutes long, and I go through it. And I'll be trying to get that put up and edited in this weekend. I think I'm going to split the 2 stoves between my bag and my wife's packs. I'll put the heavier one in mine and the light one in hers. We see one of them, the one that uses the fuel tabs, you really don't want to use that one indoors because they stink. I mean, it's not going to kill you, but it doesn't. They smell, so you really want to use that one outside. The one that uses the canned heat or that uses the sterno, and I gave you a couple of cans of sterno, I think, with it. That one you can use indoors or outdoors. and it's not going to have a bad smell to it. But that's a good idea, son. Or should I say young man? I don't even know how old you are. Enrique, are we similar? Are we of similar age? What year did you graduate from high school? I'm class of 1980. Graduated in the spring of 1980. I'm towards the end of the baby boomers. I was born in 1962. The baby boomers ended in 1964. And then another generation began. Oh. Seven in the house and 12 likes. 21 minutes in. Somebody asked, what's the topic for tonight? We're just talking. But let me tell you a little something other. They're all the time talking about immigrants. All right, well, one thing I'd like to clarify. I was hatched in 1968. I know I've got a few years on you, Dave. I got a few years on you, young man. So I'd like to clarify something other about the founding of our country. Settlers came over first and established this country. The colonies, settlers. Immigrants later, so-called immigrants. The country had already been established. It was already expanding. It was already, it was already a going concern. And then later on, immigrants started coming in. Like immigrants started coming in like in the 1800s, early 1900s. In Uncle L, 1959. I didn't think you had 3 years on me, Uncle Al. Thought you had 1 year on me. I have a pencil sharpener with the fire kit in my bag. It's good for turning pencil thick twigs into tinder. 96 and 80% humidity. Wow. So settlers built this country from the ground up. The original 13 colonies, that was your settlers. At the time that the revolution occurred and the colonies became the United States, population was about 2.5 million. Now, immigrants did contribute to our current situation. Illegal immigrants are really contributing to our current situation, You get 30, 40 million people coming across the border. Most of them, I would say, are from Mexico, Central, Northern South America, Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico. There's some, there are illegals coming over from Europe. China. A lot coming in from China. Yes, I know. I can talk a little bit about that. I do have a degree in history, Enrique. I have a bachelor's in history, Texas history, Mexican history. I love both. Um, Texas would still be part of Mexico if it wasn't for incompetent Mexican leadership. I could tell you some stories about Santa Anna. He called himself the Napoleon of the West. He was no Napoleon. Um, Part of my ancestry came over the early 1800s into Texas while it was still part of Mexico. The Actually, one of my ancestors was an impresario. He was basically a colonizer. He brought Irish over to uh, San Patricio, St. Patrick's colony. They were from Ireland, Catholic, Irish Catholics. And they were basically chartered by the King of Spain. They were given the charter by the King of Spain before Mexico broke off from Spain, and then they were blessed by the government in Mexico. McGloin, and the McGloin, he was an impresario. And well, I will say this. Yeah, he's the Mussolini of the West. Um, he, uh, you know, what can I say? The man was an idiot. Um, the way he did things. They actually brought him out of retirement and gave him command during the Mexican War. He had lost a leg, and depending on whether he was in good standing or not, they would actually bury, and then they would basically disinter his leg. I could tell you some stories about just crazy stuff. Rooted in essential oils. How are you doing, my friend? Susanna Morrison, proud single mother. Well, I will say this again, guys, so that you know. My friend Dave, who's going by Yoda's Blessed Life, he did a post this evening, and he said he would leave his post up until his channel hit 15K. He's at 13 something, moving on to 14. Where are you at right now, Dave? As far as on your channel, what's your number right now? Did you hit 14K, or are you still working on 14K? Anyway, he said he would leave his comment up on his post up until he hits 15K, and he said he anticipates about 150 people commenting on it. And if you're looking to grow your channel and pick up some friends, that it might be a good idea to, over the next few days or so, go over to his channel and check his post. And he's anticipating getting 150 or so comments, and that'll be a good way to meet people. And the ones that are commenting are people that you probably would want to befriend, because they'll befriend you back. You know, Susanna Morrison has, you know, her main channel, 40K. I remember her when she was probably at 5 or 6K. You know, back on my channel, when I started trying to push it, I started doing my 100 subscriber giveaways a couple years ago. So, you know, in a period of a couple of years, I picked up probably 1,500 subscribers. She's picked up probably 30 plus thousand, 30 some odd thousand subscribers the time I picked up 1,500. And now I'm just under, I'm very getting close to 2,000, to 2K. When I get to 2K, I will be doing yeah, I could talk to you about that. You know, they really, for one thing, they had a lot of rebellions down in Mexico, and they would go and they would put down a rebellion, and then they would basically draft Shanghai, and they would make people who had been involved in the rebellion, they'd basically make them go into the army, and that was the group, a large group of that. Those were basically conscripts from rebel states that had to march north. And he wasn't worried about cannon fodder. He used them as cannon fodder. And they had nice uniforms, and then they had cheap weapons. Oh yes, you can talk about that. Well, one thing is he did not keep his force together. Yes, he left some to garrison. So like after they took San Antonio back, after they took San Antonio, he left a garrison there. He left some garrisons, you know, small garrisons along the way. But then he got out ahead of his main force. And at San Jacinto, the Texans, with a lot of volunteers from the U.S., they basically caught him with his pants down, literally. I think he was entertaining a lady at the time. And, you know, they had the Battle of San Jacinto, and he just got his ass handed to him. The funny thing was, he tried to sneak out, and he was not dressed, you know, he was not dressed in his uniform and everything. And they captured a bunch of them, and he was in with the group that got captured. And then the Texans noticed that everybody was saluting him. You know, they were standing at attention saluting him. Like, oh, who do we have here? And if it hadn't been for Sam Houston, they probably would have shot him or hung him. But rumor is that he was a high-ranking Mason, and Sam Houston was a Mason, and that they did some sort of secret handshake or secret symbol, secret gestures to let him know, you know, that they were both, and that Sam Houston basically, you know, protected him. That was the story on that one. And supposedly, Santa Anna was entertaining the Yellow Rose of Texas in his tent, or a Yellow Rose of Texas. Excellent coffee. So, seven in the house, 12 likes, 13 likes, can't keep track of it. So, just clarifying, into the colonies, and you had Jamestown, Virginia was established in 1607. It was a crown colony. In 1620, Plymouth was established. It was a religious colony. Well, it was originally religious, but the Pilgrims, they were basically the Protestants of Protestant land. You know, they were basically being persecuted in England because they weren't Church of England. You know, they they were sort of the Amish types, the way that what they wore and everything, and the way they, you know, their culture and everything, and their, you know, so you had Plymouth established in 1620, and over the next 100 years or so, you had 13 colonies, and some of them, you know, they came from different areas, and finally, after the French and Indian War and the yeah, my daughter is from my first marriage is probably a neighbor of yours. She lives in where's Freddie Fender from again? My mind isn't what it used to be. Anyway, they put major taxes on the colonies, trying to pay for the French Indian War. They started billeting troops, making the colonials house troops. They sent over a lot, pretty good sized force. They were using mercenaries like German mercenaries and such. And you know, they just did everything they could to piss the colonists off. Yeah, San Benito. Yep. May he rest in peace. I loved his music, and I actually met him back in the late '70s, early '80s. I met him a couple of times. Um, well, Dave's putting up shorts, courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Yeah, San Benito's got a population of about 30,000, I guess, or so. Anyway, well, see, originally when Texas became independent, Mexico, they were basically saying that the Nueces was probably the border. And they basically, you know, argued over where the border was. And then they allowed Texas for about 10 years or so to be independent. And then when the United States decided to, and Sam Houston was really pushing for it, when the United States decided to take Texas in, and then it basically they want to have the war. After the war, they basically forced the Rio Grande as the border. Texas originally, when it was part of Mexico, was part of a state called Coahuila. So it was Coahuila, Tejas. Coahuila y Tejas, or something to that effect. Yeah, and he was later a U.S. Senator. And when Texas seceded from the Union, he fought tooth and nail to keep them from seceding from the Union. And he did not want, and he didn't go for the, Texas joining the Confederacy. Yes. Sam Houston was one of the great founding fathers of Texas, statehood and everything. Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston. Travis died at the Alamo. Davy Crockett, who had been a former congressman, U.S. congressman, he died at the Alamo. So again, settlers came first and established the colonies and established the country. The United States was established by settlers. They built it from the ground up. Nope, don't want to argue that. Settlers established and built the country from the ground up. Later on, immigrants came in, like the Irish, the Germans. You had, when Germany was fighting its wars of unification, Prussia, a lot of people came over from Germany, Austria, southern Germany, Bavaria. The Irish came over during the famines, during the 40s, and then during the started like the 1840s. Towards the latter part, after the Civil War, you had a lot of immigrants coming in. Italians came over, a lot of Italians coming over. A lot of Irish coming over. Germans coming over. After the UK, British, Germans were the second largest group that came over. A lot of Irish came over too. A lot of Irish. Mom of 4 boys, how's it going? Happy Independence Day. Good to have you, Rachel. So again, I will mention my friend, his name is David. I call him Dave. His channel right now is Yoda's Blessed Life. He said he did a post this evening, which he's going to leave up until his channel hits 15K. And he's last count I had was he was at 13 something other K. His channel's been blowing up. He says he anticipates 150 or so channels commenting on his post. So if you're looking to make new friends, he said go over, leave a comment, leave a like, and you can meet a bunch of people based on his post. And you can help grow your channel. Well, oh, Rachel's husband's happy birthday. Okay, happy birthday, sir. Thank you for your service. I think he's a responder. I think Rachel's husband's a responder. He's either law enforcement or he's a responder, if I recall correctly. Yeah, a lot of Chinese came over. A lot of Asians came over. They basically built the transcontinental railroad. They did a lot of projects. Yeah. Um, man, what in the world? Deputy sheriff, 28 years for the sheriff department. Yeah. My uncle Howard, may he rest in peace, 32 years, Georgia State Police. After he retired, he did security at one of the colleges back there for several years. He did his 3 years in the military, the draft. GI Bill basically paid for his college. Georgia Bulldogs. Had a degree in business and never used it. Had a bachelor's degree in business and never used it. His wife used to always be, my Aunt Marie, may both of them rest in peace. I used to listen to her complain about Uncle Howard and that he never used his college degree. But, you know, he had a good life. And he had a real nice house. He had a real nice place out in the country. He had two places. Out by a lake where he could go out there fishing. Had a very nice life, very nice retired life, and he lived to be 93. He died about midway through his 93rd year. Fell and hurt himself. His missus had passed away a year or two before. He was about 10 years older than Aunt Marie. I think died at 82. Uncle Howard, he outlived her by about a year and a half. They were married for over 50 years. And Aunt Marie was Hispanic. She was from the border, along the border. My favorite aunt on my father's side of the family, Aunt Marie. Beautiful woman. I remember, you know, when I was a little boy, she was a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. And their three kids, good-looking kids. I mean, mixed heritage kids, really, a lot of times they come out really good-looking. Yeah, retire, rehire. That's what I am. Retire, rehire. I put my time in, retired, and I came back and been working 2 years. And actually 5 years in between, I worked for Walmart 3.5 years, was what they call a team lead at Walmart. I can tell you about online shopping. I used to have to deal with that. Lady Dark Gaming. Hey, my friend. Lady Dark Gaming. How are you doing, Amber? Hey, let me give you a tip, Amber. And the rest of you that are here. My friend Dave, or his name is David too, he goes by Yoda's Blessed Life. He used to be Guru and Wahoo the Turtle, but he's Yoda's Blessed Life. He said he did a post this evening. And if you go over to his channel and go to his post over the next few days or so, he anticipates about 150 people, channels, leaving comments. Be a good way for you to pick up new subscribers, new friends. He said he would leave it up until he hits 15K. Last time I checked, he was at about midway between 13,000 and 14,000. His channel's just been blowing up. I used to have more subscribers than he did. For the longest time, he stayed about 200 behind me. We were both growing about 100 a month. And then all of a sudden, he just blew up. In the last several months, he's picked up 10,000 subscribers or more. So I would encourage you to go over And you know, you talk about Happy Treason Day. It would be interesting to have seen what would have happened if the colonies had not of left the if they hadn't rebelled. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened. So again, I will tell you, and I keep hitting this, you know, I will be doing a news. It's been a while since I've done a Coffee Talk News. I will be doing a Coffee Talk News at some point in time in the near future. One of the things I want to talk about is I want to talk about the Supreme Court cases and the decisions in the Supreme Court. I want to do a news on that. I also want to do an update on the border. Maybe I'll talk about the big beautiful bill and what was in the big beautiful bill that just passed, that the president signed today. I do need to put out some boxes this coming week. Got to get those finished. I'm probably going to film it. I've got a video that I've already shot and edited, and it's uploaded privately. I just need to do some descriptive work on it, and I need to do some shout outs, and I will release it this coming week. So I am working on those things. This is week 5 of my summer vacation. I figure another 4-ish weeks to go, and then, you know, it's back to work. Yeah, I would think so. Ark Waldman Survival, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So I will mention, for the benefit of Ark, just came in. Yoda's Blessed Life wanted me to let everybody know that he had done a post, and he was going to leave it up until his channel hit 15K. So it'll be up for a little while. And he said he anticipates about 150 channels coming in and leaving comments. So if you're looking to grow your channel, you might want to go over and befriend some of the people leaving comments, and, you know, watch a couple of their videos, and hopefully they'll come, you know, let them know who you are, and hopefully they'll come back, and, you know, both of y'all will grow and your channel will grow. I had been doing yard work. No more. Drink all of it. It's Coffee Talk. I was drinking coffee. And been doing yard work. I think I'll have the day off tomorrow because I'm expecting rain. Those ditches, I've been using, I've got a brand new self-propelled. I'm using the old one because I guess I'm cheap or whatever. Until the thing gives out, I'm going to use it. I've got a nice riding mower, but I don't like using the riding mower because it doesn't look as nice. I like to bag. So I filled 4 bags today. Was doing, of clippings. Doing the ditches. Doing one side of the front yard. Weed eating. spraying weed kill, trying to bring order out of chaos. It's a never-ending story in the summertime. And yeah, I could pay somebody to do it, but this is my exercise, and I am trying to lose some weight. I've been taking more. I've been taking more medication because the doctor prescribed more medication. Need to remember to take my evening dose. Where are we at? I think we're at, what are we at? Friday? I forgot Wednesday PM. That's how bad I am. Got to remember to take that. When I get through, I'll be doing some, hey, Walter. How you doing, young man? Thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. Good to have you here. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Manuel. Manuel. Yeah, right. I actually have somebody. His name is Chapa. I read the Weed Whacker all day. Yeah. Have to change out the batteries, you know. Change out the batteries and make sure the line. Plenty of trimmer line. I'm lazy. I get the spools that are already. I just replace the spools. Yeah, it's his last name. Chapa. You know, Enrique, I grew up, went to parochial schools, started in a convent down in Mission, Texas. I graduated from a Catholic prep school in Corpus Christi called Incarnate Word Academy, class of 80. And there were as many Hispanics as there were Anglos or whites or whatever you want to call us back in the day. So I've always been, you know, a lot of my friends Hispanic. Both of my wives Hispanic. My kids half and half. 2 daughters, one each. I mean, that's basically how I've rolled. Yeah, rain. It should rain tomorrow here. Yesterday I was working on a second get home bag and munching on some MRE snacks. Yeah, you'll be getting, yeah, you'll be getting a follow-up probably KP in the foreseeable future. I'm putting together these boxes, and these are for people that I probably have sent stuff to in the past. I still got to put some rations in them, but you know, it's like an aid package for friends. But this next week, I'm going to try to get my friend Dave, Yoda's Blessed Life, a little care package for him, and Uncle Aldi Bullfrog 79 will be the first 2 that will probably go out. I got all the stuff for them. I'm still putting stuff together. Gotta, you know, trying to get all the stuff, you know, put together for it. Idaho Garden Girl back in the house. So anyway, we've been here about an hour. I will probably do a live stream tomorrow, and it'll probably be a better one than I did today, and I'll have a topic for you. Today it was basically just I've been working outside all day, and still need to take a shower. I changed out and put a clean shirt on. Wanted to look halfway decent for the live stream yesterday. Did it? I had actually showered and everything, but I had a white T-shirt on. I was just, I was dragging. And yeah, I know pulling weeds is a never-ending process. Yeah, I hear you. I'm what you call a retiree hire. So I get my retirement check. I'm trying to finish my quarters so I'll get Social Security after I'm 65. I got 2 more years to go. I need 6 more quarters to have my 40 quarters in. And I figure I'll at least work this year and next year. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. This was a good live stream. I appreciate those of you who come in. One last time, I will tell you, if you didn't hear me earlier, my friend Dave, Yoda's Blessed Life, he did a post and he wanted people to know that if you're trying to grow your channel, go over to that post over the next several days. He anticipates about 150 people will come in. He's going to leave it up until he hits 15K. And he anticipates about 150 people will come in. It'll be a good way for you to make new friends. Leave a comment, leave a like, and reach out to some of those people, and hopefully you'll grow your channel. Everybody, remember, when you get up in the morning, take your medication if you take medication. Thank God for the day that you woke up. Drink your coffee. Say the Lord's Prayer. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Do unto others as you've had others do unto you. Lead by example. And everybody, please remember the Scout motto is be prepared. Life is good, but it is what it is. Things happen. And everybody have a blessed day. And hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. This was a very good. I really enjoyed tonight. It was very good. And I hope y'all did too. Thank you and blessings. Bye-bye.